Hi there. I was talking and then I realized that I hadn't put myself live yet. Anyway, hi there. Happy Sunday morning. This morning I went very early to some place called Boston Float. Boston Float is their float tanks where you go in and they're filled with Epsom salt solution, like a lot of it, so that you float. And it's very, very, very good just for deep relaxation, deep relaxation and body awareness. So, this is my theme. It's not, I don't think it's going to change too soon. And I decided Um, number one, Nina Manelson turned me on to this place. She and I are neighbors, and it's literally around the corner. It takes me 5 minutes to get there by car. And I did a couple of them, and it's so interesting the level of resistance to just being present in my body, just being present and being aware. So, m- most of you, if you've been on any of the webinars that we give, know that the quote that I use often is, and I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. It took a long breath and replied, I have been waiting my whole life for this. And here's one of the cats to say hi. Let's see who it is. Hi, Karamia. It's Karamia. So, this whole relationship with one's body. So, here I have a body with lymphedema. I'm 73 years old. So, I have an older body with lipedema and lymphedema. And yesterday, I actually got a view of myself full bodied, which I don't do very often. I now have um, uh, a full length mirror, but I still don't use it very often. But yesterday I was at an event. A friend of mine's brother passed away, so I was at the wake, and after the wake, we went to, family and friends went to have something to eat at a nearby restaurant, and I so happened there's a huge mirror, and I'm like, oh my god. So this morning in the float, I I entered into this kind of meditative state and just said, what if I made this part of my prayer, my working towards deepening and just learning to love the body that I'm in? That's what it comes down to, learning to love the body that I'm in. Um, you've heard me, if you've been on anything of recent days, you've heard me talk about the Real You project, the photo shoots and the different um, classes that we're having. And we're going to have a retreat and photo shoot in Santorini, Greece in the fall. We have a couple of Real You master classes coming up. So there is this movement towards. So here's the bottom line. Come on, do you want to come? Here's the bottom line. I think it's funny. I think it's like my body is like the cat, just like this, always poking and prodding and wanting to be accepted and loved. And that's the same relationship with my body. And it's if you can relate to me, if you can in any way put a comment, um, just let me know. Am I alone in this? I don't think I am, given that I work with thousands of women. Um, and I don't, and the interesting part about this is I don't even think it's just those of us with lipedema and lymphedema or whatever versions of that we have. I actually think it's part of endemic in our culture, which goes back to my doctorate. My doctorate is in psychology with a focus and concentration in media. And my work has always been understanding media's impact on us as women. And the beauty standards that are not standard at all, that are incredibly distorted, and how that distorts our thinking, our deepening sense of identity and self, so that for most of us, and it's again not just lipedema or lymphedema or obesity or overweight, it is part of the feminine experience and part of the human condition that we deal with this. Um, my study, my research study, was actually several years. And I say this because it still astounds me. I had over 500 women in the study, and it wasn't based on weight. It was just based on women and body image dissatisfaction, and what we could do to ameliorate that. And my intervention was meditation, a couple of different forms of meditation. Um, and one of the things that I learned is the external visage has nothing to do with it. One of the most beautiful women in the study had the deepest self-hatred, and thank God, there was movement with meditation and with what we were doing. Um, but when I looked at 500 women and the depth and level of self-judgment, self-hatred, um, self-denigration, it wasn't just, oh, I'm too fat. It was like, oh, I don't like the way my eyes look, or my nose is too big, or my mouth is crooked, or when I smile it doesn't quite look right. And oh, for me it's always been, having a couple chins, and as I get older, I they grow. Whatever that is, each one of us have our own litany, if you will. And there are a couple comments that I just want to say. Oh, thank you. Someone, I don't know who it is because there's no name associated with it, says you are not alone. Thanks for being there, and everyone else online. This is our form of being able to connect. And Elaine asks about the float. Yes, the float. So the float is, I'm there for an hour and a half or so, and in the tank for a great deal of that, like at least an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes. And then, of course, showering and changing and everything. But it's, if you can, and I say if you can because I struggle with this as well, it's just totally letting go of all the tension, because the water, the solution, it's 850 pounds of Epsom salt. Like, I'm one that has taken Epsom salt baths for my lymphedema, and that Epsom salt bath, I put in 8 or 10 pounds. this solution has 850 pounds. So you float and you can just release. Just so I've decided I'm going to do this on Sunday mornings. Sunday mornings is a good time. They have a 7 a.m. and most people don't like to do it at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning, but I do. So I just booked several in advance and using that time to have a conversation with my body. I had a conversation with my body this morning. And that's what I'm here sharing with you. Um, I'm sharing with you because somehow it makes it real, because somehow I'm not alone, because somehow we're walking this journey. Um, and it's, you can tell I'm not prepared. This is a honest to goodness conversation. I'm 73 years old. I've been in battle with my body for as long as I can remember. And the past number of years, it's shifted because I've been working on it very actively. I've been my glasses were glaring. I've been actively working on being present when I fight with myself, being present when I'm judgmental with myself, and being present when I'm kind to myself, to my body. The real you, the pilot we had last year, we started end of October and it went through January. And the photo shoot that we had, I got my photo back, and it's the photo I'm starting to use. I absolutely love it. I look at the photo and I'm like, oh my God, it truly is. It reflects to me something that's deeply personal, my own idea of myself. I mean, I'm looking at it now. I'm like, oh my God, he did such a beautiful job. And we're going to be doing more of this in Santorini. We're also going to do body shots. We only did headshots in LA. We're going to do body shots. Rod Flores, one of Peter's collaborators, is going to be there in Greece, and Rod himself is very scarred. He was an electrician in his day job, and he had an accident on the job in 2018 and was electrocuted and has incredible burns. He's been back and forth to the hospital many times, many surgeries, and he survived. And not only did he survive, but his photography is just beyond believable, just gorgeous. So he's coming as well. So Peter and Rod both will be doing the photo shoot in Greece. And we'll be having a 10-day retreat, delving into all of this, being present in our bodies and having these conversations and healing process. Um, but we're going to have online, there's going to be 2 online courses, one starting in March and one is starting midsummer. I think we figured July or August, and it would include the retreat. The timing of it. I think I put a link because we started to work on the landing page for information. Um, oh, Kathleen, we'd love to have you come to Greece. Um, we would love anyone who wants, yeah, do go look at the information. It's not inexpensive. We have to fly. I'm in Boston. I have to fly to Greece, and I'm in the process of looking for a villa. It's going to be limited because they can only shoot a certain number of women in the photo shoot. So it's limited. Like I said, it's not cheap. Um, many, many, many blessings to all of us as we continue this journey. A journey that I mean, I've been on it for a very long time. Um, as a community, the Real You project came out of a very generous offer from Peter Hurley and Rod Flores. And they've continued to be willing to do this. We could never afford to do this any other way, that they're doing the actual photo shoot part pro bono. So I'm in the midst of looking for a villa in Santorini that can house like 20 of us. Um, and yeah, we'll see how it unfolds. In the meantime, Boston Float is in Somerville, Massachusetts, but they have floating float tanks. If you just do a Google search for it, you'll find it. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for participating. Thank you for God. Thank you for I don't want to do this alone. Thank you for being together. We're going to we're going to do something together, I always say. So, yep, I think that's it. I'm rambling now. Have a good weekend. Well, it is today, it's Sunday. I still have a little bit of the weekend left. So, blessings. Bye.